Do you like this song, Siobhan? I'm just kidding. There's no song playing. I'm going to stop playing music. What do you do? What was it? Could you tell by the beat? I did have a song playing in my mind. I'm not sure what the name of it is or who sings it, but it's like, well, I think it's time to get ready to My Joy is a song. Yeah, you know, there's a good quote. It's, I'm not sure who said it, but a friend passed it along to me one day, and I loved the way he presented it, and it has stuck with me. Sometimes joy is the source of your smile, and sometimes your smile is the source of your joy. I like that. Because sometimes that's all we need to do is smile to turn our day around and access our joy. And sometimes we're, I don't need to explain the quote. So last night's part 3 of my first big fatted yogic adventure that took me to the Kootenays in BC. It got pulled off because of the song that I played at the beginning, and I had to delete it, and I haven't figured out how to upload it again, although I do have a copy of it. So for those of you who missed, I think what I'm thinking of is part 3 was the last part in that particular story, although there's a lot more to it. I could go on and on. There's lots of journal entries, and even though it was only 3 days of my life, it was the catalyst to so much changing. And this is all before. This is about 4 years before I went to Jivamukti teacher training in Austria. And so much, little did I know it then, but in November 1999, the year upcoming, 2000, was going to be a very significant year in my life. So many things happened. So many wonderful, wild, and weird things happened in the year 2000 that shaped my journey profoundly. But that 3 days at the ashram and connecting to Swami Radha and the space that she created, and the teachings that the words that she wrote, and her books about her dreams and her experiences in India, and how her life kind of formed, became the foundation that would support me through the tumultuous times ahead. And the year 2000 was it's like that light from the ashram and all those divine light invocations that I did for those days started to crack things open, or maybe seep through the cracks in me that were already there, and things started to really shift rapidly after that. And so I'm not sure that that's the next story that I'm going to tell, because that's no fun, chronological order. But I was just having a visit with Kiara, and she was saying, there's parts of my life, a lot of parts of my life. A lot of people came to know me through the many years that I taught yoga, but I didn't start teaching yoga till I was in my 40s. So there's a lot that informed my journey and my decision-making process about the way I would live my life and raise my family, that happened before I went to yoga teacher training in 2003. So yeah, some of those stories might come out too, because they're the less prominent ones, and my children were younger and might not remember things as much. And so I've had some requests to talk about the way I parented and my alternative approach to health at that time when my children were little and when I was in my 30s, and what tools I use, alternative health tools do I use in my life. And so I'll maybe talk about that a little bit in the upcoming days as well. So if there's anything you want to know from either when I woke up and my life started to transform, or before that, actually, I want to hear I've got an old school friend that I've reacquainted with recently, and she was saying, remember that party that you had at your house that one Christmas? And it's like, no, I don't. I want to hear some of those stories, and I'm sure my kids would enjoy some of those stories too, from when I wasn't such a whole food, vegan, health-loving, conscious person. Because I've done a lot in all directions. Some I'm proud of, some I'm not so much. So there's those stories to tell too. But it is Friday night, and we're just putting the finishing touches on our supper here now. So I'm going to bid you farewell and say thank you for showing up, so that I'm not talking to an empty room. And thank you. I love you. Good night.